Hello, everyone. Γεια σας, καλημέρα. On behalf of the Thessaloniki International Film Festival AGORA, I would like to welcome you to the first session of the AGORA series. We're very happy to have you here with us today. We would like very much to thank the Municipality of Thessaloniki for hosting us to this beautiful space. We are happy to return here after a couple of years. Also, we would like to thank our sponsors. I will immediately give the floor to our dear guests and moderator for the first session. And I would like just to invite you once again later on this afternoon at 4:30 for the AGORA Series Talents presentation. So the floor is yours, and I hope you enjoy. We will open up for questions at the end, if there are any. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Nikki. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here this morning while the sun is shining outside. I'm Lykourgou, a film critic from Flix.gr and Nova TV, and it's a pleasure to welcome you to today's discussion and subject matter. Our subject today is the adaptation of a very important work in the history of Greek literature, Karagatsis, The Great Chimera. I'm going to be saying it wrong throughout because I want to say Chimera all the time, forgive me, to a TV series adaptation for ERT, the national public broadcaster. And the screenplay adaptation is by Panagiotis Iosifelis, and the project is directed by Vardis Marinakis, both very prominent screenwriters and directors. Before we say anything further, we have a trailer to show you, and we will take the discussion further after that. So let's see the trailer, please.
Molti anni fa, mio padre mi aveva promesso un viaggio.
C'è stato un incidente. Tuo padre è morto. Devi imparare che cos'è l'amore.
Pensi che io voglia fare il tuo stesso mestiere?
Saremo l'unico bordello con dottorato. Vorrei vedere il capitano della nave, se fosse possibile. Nauclere kale kagate kaire.
Ah, mi ha salutato in greco antico.
Sì.
Amoro sempre di più di te. Sei sensibile e appassionata.
Είναι καλό κορίτσι και μορφωμένο.
Ξένη. Αυτό είναι.
Come ti è sembrato mio fratello?
Πάντως χαίρομαι πολύ.
Για ποιο λόγο?
Που βρήκα έναν αδερφό σαν και εσένα.
Και εκεί κατάρα σου δίνω να παντρευτείς δικό μας παιδί.
Con il tuo investimento pagheremo la Chimera e compreremo un'altra nave.
Σου είπε ο Γιάννης ότι θα επενδύσει στην εταιρεία.
Il mio è un altro tipo di viaggio.
Sì, tra i libri.
Car la vie sans passion est une vie ennuyeuse.
Η δυστυχία όταν έρχεται κάπου, έρχεται ολόκληρη ως το τέλος.
So we have the pleasure to have with us today the key people that made this very daring and ambitious project happen, the producers. And we will be asking them how they approached such an emblematic book, which must have been daring, how they structured their collaboration, and what exactly each and every one of them brought to the table in order for this project to happen. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Kozakou, Head of Programming at ERT, and I think that you are responsible for the strategic actually decisions and how the program in OVERT is going to include projects that are going to have some variability, and they're going to produce some interest for the contemporary Greek culture as well. Pier Giorgio Bellocchio, producer from Mompracem, if I pronounce it correctly, the production company, which is an Italian production company who aims to create projects which combine both entertainment and great quality, as we saw. Then we have Ferdinand Dohna, executive producer from Beta Films, and I think that you also hold the piece of the puzzle for the financing and distribution to a global market of the series. And last but not least, Stelios Cotionis of Foss production, the Greek producer who first set this very ambitious and daring adventure in motion, I think, Stelios. But please allow me to start with Maria. We said that we're going to be informal at this panel. I'd like to start with you because since we have an international audience, I think that we have to start by establishing the importance of the art, of the piece of art, the novel, what Karagatsis means for the history of Greek literature, what the specific novel means for the history of Greek literature, and in these terms, why ERT, the public sector of broadcasting in Greece, thinks that these are the important pieces of art that need to be brought as adaptation to the screen.
Thank you very much for having me here with you. It's a pleasure and an honor to be with my friends and colleagues here. Yes, I would like to talk to you a little bit about Karagatsis, because this would shed light to the reason why ERT decided to participate in this project. And then you won't have any other questions. So, as you know, M. Karagatsis, his real name was Dimitris Rodopoulos. He was born in 1909, 1908, actually. He's a very important writer and author for Greek literature. He's actually one of the most important novelists for modern urban Greek literature. His writing combines realism, passion, sensuality, passion, psychological depth, passion, and distinctly European sensitivity. And I would like to reiterate this European sensitivity and sensibility. The Great Chimera, η Μεγάλη Χήμερα δηλαδή, is perhaps his most iconic novel he has ever written. Marina, our protagonist, is a young French woman, but in our series, she's Italian, and this is one good question why, marries, the answer is here, a Greek ship owner, and moves to the island of Syros in Cyclades, Kyklades. There, between love, tradition, the sea, and fate, she experiences a story of desire, alienation, and an inner collapse. The chimera, represents the unattainable dream, the illusion of a life that could have been different, but it isn't, the mythical creature born from the human longing for something greater than what we have. Maybe this is the story of our lifetime, each one of us. The novel is very significant because it combines, it captures the clash between East and West, love and duty, individuality and destiny. And it paints a very, very vivid picture of Greek society and offers a profound reflection of the human condition. So, adapting Μεγάλη Χήμερα into a modern television series is an important cultural moment for Greece. It embodies the mission of public television to preserve, reiterate, and reinterpret, in some cases, and revive Greek culture for today's audiences, connecting our literacy and our heritage with contemporary storytelling. At the same time, ERT aims to be outlooking, and we try to bring Greek creativity to a global audience. This is my last line. Just 1 week ago, we, ERT, we approved another ambitious new, and this is news to you, collaboration with ITV Studios on a project that we hope that a year from now we will be here to talk about it as we talk about the Great Chimera. So, ERT is here, a small part of this great adventure that we will all have this trip, this travel to Greek literature. And we want to celebrate artistic excellence, passion, emotional power, and international reach. So, this is why we are here, and we are very proud to air Megali Chimera in a few weeks.
Oh, in a few weeks, perfect. I had it by the end of the year. So.
We'll see.
Okay.
By the end of the year.
By the end of the year, I think, yes. Stelios, Foss Production has a very impressive track record, from commercials to very successful TV shows and award-winning film features. And I love that the motto of your company is, "We make it happen," because in this case, it's a little bit ironic. As a journalist, I have been hearing for years and years that this book, a lot of people have attempted to adapt this book, initially as a feature film. And I know that Dennis Iliadis and even Giorgos Lanthimos was at some point interested in the project. And at some point, you made it happen. And I wanted to ask you, when the idea was on the table, was it a little bit daring, even initially for you? And what clicked inside you and stubbornly you said, we're going to make it happen?
Yes, okay.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar to public speaking, so excuse me for... Okay. All started in 2021 when Boo Productions, which held the rights at the time, brought me the project, and they told me if I want to be the leader of this project, to make it a series, not a feature film. Because of COVID, you know, the industry, the film industry wasn't too good, yeah. And okay, it's a project that, you know, almost 30 years trying to. A lot of producers, directors try to make it happen, but they didn't. So it was a great challenge for me to try to make this happen, actually. And you know, the first thing, I said yes from the very beginning. Okay, let's do it. Let's try to find the funding, because, you know, the budget was too high. We didn't have an estimation back then, but I knew that it was a very expensive project. So no Greek broadcaster would afford to pay all the series, the whole series, and we started from ERT, to be honest, because it's a perfect match, I think. It's a public broadcaster like BBC. They're making the most unique projects. And after ERT came on board, okay, we had a lot of financing gap, so
I wanted to ask you about that, because I think that it takes a village in our days in order to bring such ambitious project to life. And how does one even pitch this kind of project to an international market? It's wonderful that producers from different production companies and different countries come together. But how does one pitch such a project? And if you guys knew each other, if you had like a working relationship before, or you started from scratch?
We had with Ferdinand and Bera Film. We knew them only for distribution. We discussed a lot the Maestro in Blue.
Yeah, you didn't want to do it with us, yes?
No, you
skip that.
Yeah, we didn't want to do this with the Bera Film.
Big mistake, but anyway.
It was, I don't know. So we had a small experience on pitching projects to foreign companies. We made a pitching doc. We made an episode, a pilot episode, and we tried to find partners on this. So we discussed this a lot with Ferdinand, and okay, I like it. I like you guys, not only me, my partners in crime, Orestis and Vasilis. Let's move forward to write more episodes and see what's gonna happen. We didn't sign the contract back then, but we, now we are.
So Beta Films were the first that said yes?
After ERT, yes.
After ERT, okay.
Yeah.
Ferdinand, or should I say Dr. Dohna, given your studies...
Dave Ferdinand.
Given your studies in classical archaeology and ancient history and Greek, which I found out, and I was thrilled to find out.
I'm embarrassed now.
But I mean, I can understand why you would be interested in a Greek project, but at the same time, did you know the specific novel?
I had to convince my company, yes.
Exactly, and how did you convince your company?
And if it doesn't work, I get fired. So it's a big responsibility that you have, Stelios.
It was written in an email. I saw it with my eyes, yeah.
As you see, seriously now, there is, and I think this is important for co-production, there's a relationship of, I would say, friendship and trust. And we talked about the Great Chimera the first time we met, because I remember when I was in Athens and Orestis showed me around your office, and it first was the personal relationship, and then we entered in the project. So we were just talking about, and this is not a common co-production, you know. It's a very unusual co-production, because the Great Chimera is a very important novel for Greek audience, but it's not so well known outside of Greece. You know, it's not War and Peace or something like that everybody knows, and it has attached. It's a Greek writer and a Greek director. It's we don't have many elements to make it international. No, it's not an international brand, and the creatives are Greek, and it was meant like that. And the only element of international, the only international element we could get was, of course, cast. And then we come to the why the protagonist is Italian and not French, because we saw more possibility in the Italian market, and there's not even only one, but we had actually two actresses who are half Greek and half Italian, that's why we decided to make this little change, because it's not very important in the novel. And actually, at the time the novel plays, Trieste the city of Trieste, the northern Italian city of Trieste, was the main port for commerce with the Greek islands and with Greece. So historically, it's even yes, it makes a lot of sense, you know? And so this was but as you're completely right, for us, beta film, of course, it was a big, or it still is a big risk, but we had a lot of trust in Stelios, Orestes, and this team, and they were from the beginning super open to our involvement, and we discussed everything, but they had a very clear artistic vision, and they would never compromise this artistic vision, you know, regardless what I was saying or we were saying, that, you know, we really, and there was a clear vision, but it was all kind of discussed and shared, and I know Vardis as well, the director.
You guys are jumping ahead. I'm going to be asking about these things because I'm very interested in this.
This is what was your thought when I came to ask for more money?
We're going to spill the tea. Pier Giorgio, I wanted to ask you, your company gets pride in saying that you guys are working for projects that you go out of the box, and you would like to be both of great quality and entertainment. And I was wondering what you saw in this project, and you said this fits in the description of the projects that I want to be working for. And what was your specific part in the development process?
The development project, the specific part is possible when you come, not Italian production come to shoot in Italy. It's possible to access the tax credit system, and is very advantageous for a not Italian production when coming in Italy. But when we start the collaboration with Foss, the first big question is the protagonist. And I remember when the first reunion, the first call with a Greek company, the question he proposed me, some Italian actress is not Italian and Greek actress, because the very particular thing is Fotini Peluso is one actress. You have the father Italian and the mother is Greek, and he lived too many times in Greek. He have the family in Greek, and he talk and speak Greek, same of Italian, and propose me the Foss other actress Italian, no? And I tell her, but it's not possible because you want 1 year for understand the screenplay, and 1 year for teaching the Greek language. Fotini is natural. Fotini read Greek and Italian, and is a very beautiful actress, is a very good actress. And he loved this project, Fotini, because he going on the set, and every time for her is a very moment of reconciliation with her story, with her family, with her, and this is the first time. The second is where shooting. Trieste, it's okay, but it's not simple, because Trieste, and it's not simple because the Italian system of production is not. You have some regulation is different from Greece, and the other parties understand this method of production, and we want to search a compromise from the Italian method of production and from the Greek production idea. But it's very strange, because when my unit production, my collaboration tell me the first time of the preparation of the series, is a very human, good report. For us, work with Foss, work with a Greek troupe, is a very big experience, and when we finish the Italian shooting, me and all my troupe is very happy for understand it's possible another another country, another people, but you have the same human center. And
we say una faccia, una razza, right?
Esattamente, è quella cosa lì, insomma. E penso che, no, sorry, and I suppose the Italian part of the series is a very good start for the series. It's a very good because the series we know, no, the first and the second episode is fundamentally for the audience for a climb for go and I happy and I happy to stay here and una faccia, una razza.
Well, everything seems too perfect. And I wanted to ask you how democratic is actually a co-production? And if there is, how do you leave space for everybody's ideas and everybody's even objections to be heard and respected? Or is it a strict hierarchy of how the decision process goes on and who has the final say?
Well, the boss is Stelios.
Thank you.
That's the first time I hear about
you know, this project is mostly a producer's project. But yeah, it was really, I think, the most democratical series I've ever worked.
That sounds like trouble.
Yeah, a lot. We have some regulations from Beta Film that, okay, we're moving forward, but you're gonna make all the changes we want to the scripts. Of course, it will be not France, Italy, and the protagonist not French, Italian. We had a lot of talking when the scripts were wrote to make changes, adjustments. But yeah, it worked. It wasn't easy, to be honest. Quite difficult it was, but yeah.
It's, of course, never a democracy, even if you invented it. Stelios is not a Democrat, you know. And but it's right that it is like this, you know. The artistic vision had the producer, and I have to say Vardis as well a little bit, you know, and it was not that everything was discussed with all the partners, and then we raised our hands, and who had the majority wins. It was, if it would fit to your artistic vision, then it was okay, and it has to be like that. But what was really great of Foss, that it was always open to discussion. But this is a little bit because we are nice guys too, and my collaborators, and we had a very good friendly way of discussing, and then I have to say that is important. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
And to answer to your question, I had the final say.
I kind of figured.
We got that.
We talked about the changes at the script, at the protagonist, at Marina being Italian and not French. And I was wondering, in Greek we say en archin in o logos, like we first start from, you know, the script and the written word. And having Karagatsis' novel, which holds such an importance in Greek literature, it must have been daunting to say how I'm going to adapt it and be fair and respect it, and how can I keep the psychological complexities and the cultural complexities. And at the same time, forgive me, this is my comment, I think that every time that we talk about a period piece, we talk about now. We want to make a comment about the present when we look at the past. So that plays a great importance as well. So how did you choose your creators, Panagiotis Sifelis for the script and Vardis for directing? What made you say that these are my people in keeping the tone and the respect that I want towards the book?
I didn't have other options. So, Panagiotis is a great screenwriter and with a lot of knowledge adapting books, format series. So he has the knowledge to make this, to take a book and to write a script. In nowadays, to be honest, to tell, I think that Marina and all the stories about her sexuality and freedom, and I think today is we are talking about same things. So it's what? Yeah. No, I'm stuck. Sorry.
No, you're not stuck. We all get what you're saying. And I was wondering how much art was involved in the creative process, or you didn't have any say. For example, we talked about the sexuality of the protagonist, and Karagatsis' language, as you said, was passionate and daring, and for the times, it was even considered scandalous. So I was wondering if public television would create like an extra burden, like you would have a hesitation of how the final product is going to come up, or were you part of that decision making or not?
Well, art is art, and we wouldn't object to any of what Karagatsis wrote. Of course, after watching the second episode, I started rethinking some things. No, I'm kidding. No, it would never be an issue for ART, never.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what I wanted to say, of course, the novel of Karagatsis was always, in a way, present when we discussed to it. Of course, the producer has the final say, but often we say, I remember when we've been on the hotel in Lykourgou and discussing in the night. And it was always, we were always asking ourselves, is this true to the novel? And even in the editing process, and there was always the novel between, next to on the desk. And it was always present. And if we were discussing and had different opinions, let's look up what's written in the novel, and that it's good if you have something like that to read.
But sometimes it presents a challenge as well in order to be fairly adapted. And I was wondering, we talked about the changes for the protagonist and everything, and we are very used, it is very common when we adopt something to make some creative changes. Economic reasons, production reasons, locations sometimes play a factor to this. And if it's not, it doesn't affect the essence of the work of art, I think it's fair game to make this kind of changes. But did you ever come across to some decisions that would cross some of your red lines and say, okay, but this is not acceptable, this is not what I want to do? Oh, and do you want to share them, of course, because I see that probably I touched something there.
You know, the biggest change was Marina, from French to Italian, and I had to take the green light from Karagatsis' grandson, Mr. Tarlo. It wasn't too easy.
To say a small comment, Dimitris Tarlo is the grandson of the writer, and he's a very prominent director, theater director and actor himself, and he has done a great theatrical adaptation that was sold out for years and years. Sorry for the...
Of course. I had a lot of discussions with Mr. Tarlo to why we should change the roots of the protagonist. Of course, it's about money, to be honest, but it's gonna work for us because Marina is a Northern European, not Mediterranean person. So with the idea going to Trieste, that is always cloudy, rainy, it looked like more Northern European city than a Mediterranean Italian city. So he, of course, he said yes. It makes sense now, and we move forward with Pier Giorgio, etc. I want to say for Vardis, because I didn't answer before, why Vardis was and still is the perfect match for directing Great Chimera. He has passion, he loves the book, he always talking about the book, also in the editing, that this scene doesn't work perfectly, but if we're gonna make this change or a voiceover, we're gonna take the essence of the book. He's crazy enough to be on board to make this amazing project, and yeah, he's a very emotional director, and this project needed to have a director like this.
You talked about money, so should we talk about budget? When you have such a project to bring to the screen, one can understand that how many different locations, like hundreds of actors and extras and costumes and set design, all this adds up to a respectable amount, I guess. How much do you want to reveal? Like, did you manage to gather the budget that you envisioned? And if not, because I understand that we can't have a chimera in our hands, like you can have the great dream, probably, but the compromises that you made, are they okay, considering your vision?
Yeah, I think when I saw the first 2 episodes in the editing, when the second ended, I told to Vasilis Vardis and Yannis Chalkiadakis, the editor, that was the series I was dreaming. So I'm really proud of this project. It wasn't easy. It was really tough to make all the funding to bring on not only RT Beta, Mompracem, it's also a Comed, the Italian tax credit, the Friuli Venezia Giulia Film Commission. Also, we have other sponsors like the Greek chocolate brand Υγείας Pavlidis by Mondelez. Από πάντα δίπλα σου, που λέει.
Yeah. Yes, I want a small comment from you too about the budget.
Really, Stelios didn't make any compromises. This is, an old producer's film, and I can only tell you the story when he decided to close Panepistemiou Street in Athens. I don't, an international audience who know Panepistemiou Street in Athens is the most trafficked street. And all Foss was desperate because they told me, Stelios has this idea, I hope it doesn't, because it's too crazy. And he closed Athens for this scene. He didn't make really, and I really appreciate that, Stelios. It's, you had your vision, and if he has to shut down Athens for a day, he did it.
I didn't make it alone, to be honest. Okay, a lot of people helped to close. Athens, τέτοιο, Δημάρχος, Mayor, yes, sorry. Also, Minister of Culture.
There's a lot of bureaucracy in order to close down Athens for a day.
It was
decided 1 week before, you know.
No, it wasn't 1 week before. No,
this is the Greek way.
Sorry.
It was not clear. That
I told them to the crew in Syros.
Okay, you already knew.
In December, yeah. I told them I had this crazy idea.
Yeah, the idea.
Because I don't want to see again Zapio National Garden. Yeah.
I remember when we prepared the Italian part in December, from Greek arrived this notice: Stelios is closed all the Athens for shooting the Chimera, and we are very afraid because change every time, this side of the stage is not. And every time we stay to see, okay, we have a little afraid when you come in Italy. You understand it's not possible in Italy close all Trieste for shooting the Chimera. And
we didn't.
No, but after we close, not all, but a part we close. And the first very important time is when come Stelios, Vasilis, Vardis for see Trieste, and I understand the Greek kindness. La gentilezza. E questa cosa della gentilezza, the kindness of the human kindness, for us is fundamentally. And when I understand this feel of human part of all the people, for me is very important support him for arrive on the final of the objective in all my possibility, you know, in all my possibility for support the production, because this is a world very violent, very strong, and everybody wants a strong man with a power man, and I arrive at this group of people, his kindness, his smile. Now, and everybody in Italy tell me, but okay, we work with us and go. You go, and after, when we finish this project, we stop, and after we understand we have a disaster economic or we win this game, and I suppose after we win this game.
Hopefully.
I think this is the biggest compliment that, you know, a Greek producer can take. I think that the valid of the personality as well as a leader might be very important in order to inspire this kind of cooperation. But you haven't answered me, both of you, if you were familiar with the book itself or you read it afterwards, and how did you find it as, you know, the basic material?
I read it before deciding to do the show, to be part of it, of course. I wanted to read the novel, you know, and I found an old German translation, and I read it. My wife read it, my daughter read it, and I asked my wife and my daughter, should we participate? No, but really, they read the novel as well. And
how did the women find
it? They read it, but they didn't like the protagonist, but they were hooked. They wanted to finish it, you know, and you know, it's a controversial. It's not a likable character. It's a very fascinating character, and the protagonist. And when you read it, you can get upset about this character as well, you know. You can love and hate it, and you can. I think this is the strength of the novel, that it's not easy, and this is our series as well. You know, I think it's very true to the novel now that I saw it in spirit, and it's thanks to Stelios, who didn't do any compromises. It's really, and to Vardis as well, it's really beautiful to watch. It's really pure beauty. It's a beautiful, beautiful show. And every single, and you saw it in this short trailer, you know, in every single frame. There's an artistic approach to every single frame. It's nothing left to luck, or yeah, let's do it because we'd have to do. You feel it that there's a seriousness in every single frame. It's really can go on and on about this great show, but thank you.
But it is a piece of work that is very entangled in Greek history and Greek culture, and this is kind of your responsibility in order to make it marketable to a global audience. And did you have any thoughts of how you're gonna do this?
Of course, the story is about the main character is not Greek. You know, the main character is somebody who loves Greece. And who comes to, and I can relate to that, of course, personally. You know, like the character, I studied Greek culture at university, ancient Greek culture, and then I learned to know and to love contemporary Greece as well. You know, this is this is a classical approach of the Northern Europeans. That first we study the ancient culture, then we come to Greek, and then
you get disappointed, and then you start over.
You know, but then you understand, if you want to watch behind this, the classical culture, and that is what our protagonist is doing, because first she only knows the classical culture. She's reading Euripides, and she doesn't know contemporary Greece, and she doesn't have an easy life in Greece then, because she discovers all the conflicts and problems of Greece, which is struggling between modern world and old traditions, and she's getting in between that, you know, and that is fascinating. I think an international Italian audience first, you know, this co-production got first Italian and then international. I think for Italy it's easier because it's a Mediterranean story. The protagonist is not a typical Italian. When we were thinking about moving it from France to Italy, first we were talking about Naples, and we all agreed immediately, no, that doesn't work, because Naples is too close to Greece. It's a Mediterranean port, while Trieste is the Austrian port. It was the port of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And Trieste, the architecture is like Vienna on the sea. You know, it's a northern city on the sea. And it fits perfectly in the story, this interest from a northern European culture for Greece. So it's in the story.
And how this woman was brought up to understand the world, and her relationship with men of Northern Europe and not Mediterranean men, because that's kind of the conflict there. There was a little bit of a controversy 2 years ago here in Greece about this work, as in the US there was a controversy about Mark Twain or Gone with the Wind. There is a new look on things, and there is a new approach on things, and I'm always open at the dialogue because we need to hear everything that comes our way. But at the same time, an artist, I think, can make a comment about the controversies of the society and not accept them necessarily. What I needed to ask, it's my last question, and then we can give the floor to questions, is that I think that in our days, the subject matter of the foreigner and how much she or he is accepted to European societies and countries is something that affects us immediately under different circumstances and under different historical times, but it is a sensitive subject matter, and I was thinking if it crossed your mind that now we have foreigners arriving at our ports and arriving at our lands, and how do we accept them, how do we make them feel part of our societies, or how we are hostile even. And if that played, it was a factor in your mind while you were accepting and doing this project, or is it like another level of interpreting? Yeah.
I don't know if you if this aspect of merging cultures is, I think, of course, it's about a woman who is struggling, as I said, in a culture that she loves with her husband, but then she's not entirely accepted. And of course, this is something everybody can relate to, and this makes the show international. And this, I hope, but in the end, what we as a distributor and international partner hope, I think the quality will convince, apart from whether this can relate to nowadays history, or I don't know, but the high quality of the novel that the people don't know, but they will discover it through the show, I hope, and the quality of directing, writing, and producing this coming here together will hopefully travel. And I'm convinced that.
Well, what makes a work of art eternal is that it speaks for itself no matter when we read it, okay? So we have a woman who is struggling back in the book. Still, women are struggling. We have a woman who is struggling with her mother.
I don't know any.
Okay, no comment on this, yes. We have a woman who is struggling with her mother with an absent father. We have a woman who is struggling with her mother with an absent father during a war in poverty, not exactly poverty. I won't reveal things. You will understand how things are. And she needs to go away from where she was born, not because of poverty, because of love, okay? So we have a person who leaves the place where she was born and chooses another place. We don't have exactly migration in this case, but we still have what you mentioned before, xenos, the foreigner. We have a woman who struggles with her mother and a few years later struggles with her mother-in-law. So, and I will not go any deeper because there are thousands of things to talk about in the book, and we have very good TV. We have art TV. It's almost cinematography. It is cinematography, not almost. And we would like to thank you all, artists, technicians, authors, scriptwriters, Italians, French, Germans, everybody who participated in this project. And the Greek audience will have the chance to watch this on ERT ENA in a few weeks' time. Okay.
This is an excellent point because TV for the last 3 decades at least, I think from X-Files and on, has produced some cinematic projects. Like it's not TV the way that our parents knew it. It is something bigger and more ambitious. We have the creators here with us if we want a comment from them. But I will give the floor to you because you are all part of the industry in your own countries, and you might have some questions for our panel.
Hi, hello.
I think mine is the only one that works. Ah, okay.
No, I willed it into working. Thank you very much for the insights. I have like two questions that popped up with me. There was a lot of talk about marketability, how well this story will travel internationally. Maybe is there something that you can say, is it already sold to other countries? And me coming from Germany, can we watch it in Germany maybe soon? And a follow-up question or part of this also for ERT, what are your metrics of success of making this a successful story or series? Is it only how it's perceived here in Greece, or is it also how well it travels internationally, what it does there, how it carries the art into the world? Thank you.
So this is not a show that you would pre-sale because it's not an international known brand, you know, and so we have already, of course, started very intensive talks with them, but we haven't signed it nowhere because we finished now the editing. We are still in the end of the editing process, and we haven't. But I'm confident that you will see it in Germany as well. But as it is not a pre-sale show, even in Italy, which is the main, will be. We didn't want to we will still show it when it's finished to the networks, and then we will announce it where it goes. But still, it's early.
Well, metrics. Greece is a small market, as you understand. It won't be difficult for us to understand whether in matters of numbers is successful or not, but this is not the point in this case. The global impact of, the European impact of Megali Chimera is something that we want to see. I think that for Greece, and all the Greek people here could comment on this, is the most anticipated TV production that we've ever had for many, many, many years. I don't know, many years ago, but I think it's the most anticipated TV production. And we are already in the track of a success. And I hope that we will maintain this.
Somebody else? I don't know, at your countries, like the question that I wanted to make before is that, to ask before is that, let's say that there are very ambitious young producers at the audience, and they have like a book that it's a holy cow, a sacred cow at their own cultures, holy grail. Yes, it's not translatable exactly, but at the same time they are afraid of touching it, and they're afraid of making that scope of a production. Do you have any advice to give them? Like, how does one start, or do you just dive in? It's a leap of faith.
Keep on dreaming and never give up, because as I mentioned before, it wasn't easy. There were, through the 3 to 4 years before going to shoot the series, there were times that all odds was against us, and were against us. And I don't know, except that the book is a masterpiece, something inside me, you know, told me, keep on doing this, you'll find the way to produce it. And I didn't know why, and I'm gonna say something personal now. Until end of November, when I was in Sirius for the shoot, I spoke with my mother, and she asked me where I was, and I told her I'm in Syros for the Great Chimera, Chimera, whatever. And she told me after 40 years of life, oh, your grandmother was born in Syros, and your great-grandfather had a shipyard in Syros. Yeah, and I didn't knew. Maybe now my mother 6 months ago passed away, and it's something very. This project is something really, really personal, and I want to make a great success, and I'm really keen to show it to the world.
Also, there are some stories hidden in Megali Chimera. For example, Vasilis told me this story, and it would be nice for you to narrate this, about Karyofilia Karabeti. She plays the mother-in-law of Marina, and years ago she was supposed to be the protagonist as Marina.
In 1994. Now I have. In 1994, when Kotionis wanted to make this, I think, film or series, series, he wanted Karyofilia to be Marina. And she told me when we discussed the role of the
That's when we
mother-in-law.
started about how does one make something happen, that it was a struggle for other producers for 30 years almost. I was wondering, if it was a feature film and not a TV series, would it be a completely different animal?
No. We had a crazy idea to make from the series a feature film, to be on cinemas before launching the series on Ertena. But ERT didn't want to. It's not Maria's fault. But yeah, it's like 6-hour movie. It has this quality. It's not a Greek series, for sure. It's something else.
That was my question too, and maybe we can hear from the creators, because it's very different to be able to have a very compact and very like a script that is gonna be is gonna respect the source material when you have 2 hours, and then you have the luxury of having the character development, all the complexities in a 6-hour TV series. So would the feature film be something of more of a challenge for you? Panagiotis first, I think, and then Vardis.
It would be something else. A feature film requires certain elements in order to develop the characters and the plot. I really believe that miniseries is a different language. And we tried to respect that language of this content of the 6 45-minute episodes. At the same time, I would like to add that my approach was, I think, a punk approach to Karagatsis. So I stuck to the emotional core and the journey of the protagonist. And afterwards, I built the rest of the environment and the side arcs of the characters. But my approach was to follow the emotional flow of the protagonist. And that helped me in order to navigate to Karagatsis' novel.
Since we have you here, we have the pleasure of having you here, it is a cliche question, but it is a question. What do you keep and what do you leave behind from such a book? And how do you approach an emblematic work with new eyes, with a new set of eyes? What was the most challenging thing for you, and what was the most enthusiastic in the whole process?
I think my effort to understand and somehow to find the core of this heroine and take her with me to modern life in order our project to be addressed, can be addressed to other audiences. Of course, it's a different language to write a novel and to write a screenplay, and Karagatsis, many times, Karagatsis has the luxury of a narrator, and he's using him a lot. I don't. We don't, the screenwriters, I mean. So we can begin from this point, no narrator, and then to visualize and to dramatize something that narrators, some of the narrator's thoughts. It's a process. But I would like to add the final thing. There is a major reference in the book for Marina, and it's from Medea, the Aeschylean tragedy. So Marina somehow reflects Medea, and all this, the foreigner, the newcomer, the one who others confront skeptically, has to do also with Medea, which is a very main pattern in the whole story. Okay.
Vardi, you were responsible of setting the tone and reading behind the lines and creating the atmosphere of the period and making it translate to our modern times. What was your challenge, you think?
Thank you for asking. I think the Great Chimera, as Stelios said, and it is a love project, I think, for all of us. And as Maria said about Karagatsis, the passion. It is a project, that we gave a big part of ourselves, and we are proud. I feel, like it's a 6 hours movie also. And it would be, wonderful to watch it in the TV and in the big screen also. It holds. The biggest challenge for me, because I have to admit I read the book after Stelios called me, and I fell in love with it because what happens if you lose the thoughts of the narrator or the thoughts of the main character, and what stays there? And the script, of course, was very strong, but at the same time, we had to convey, in a cinematic way, this electrified atmosphere between the lines. And that was the biggest challenge for me. And I'm proud because we had the artistic freedom, and collaboration with the production, and to be able to achieve this feeling while you're watching it, to feel all the in-between emotions and dilemmas and this magic and craziness that the book has in collaboration with the script, that it's Marina's character through these all epic events that leads you to the catharsis.
And how about directing an international cast? Was it that another piece of the puzzle of the challenge, or cinema is cinema and you have like a common language that you share?
We collaborated together in a scene. For me, it was really natural, and we had an amazing collaboration with the Italian casting director and with the Italian production company.
No, but I repeat one thing I tell every time is a collaboration. It's not international because it's one Razza, one Rada. It's the same. It's very simple. Understand the line, the direction, artistic direction. You want Vardis and all the Greek team. And with Fotini, it's strange to tell international casting because it's a Greek actress and is Italian actress in the same body, and this is real. And the international casting was the mother, Valentina Cervi, is a very big Italian actress. My little part, but is is a Mediterranean cast. This is real. For me, when I see, I don't see the episode, but I see some scene, I see some material, and the quality of everything is inside the frame is very high quality. And for me, it's a very big surprise, because it's high quality from Italian television, it's high quality for the international television. It's not a Mediterranean series, it's one big international high quality series. And for me, it's very big satisfaction, because when Ferdinand called me the first time, tell me, we have this series, help us for come in Italy with the series and for resolve the problem. And for me, I don't know the Great Chimera, because in Italy, the Great Chimera is not a famous book, and I don't know the Foss, but I don't know very well Ferdinand. And after, when we start and when we understand the how much is important for the Greek people, the Great Chimera, no? It's the same in Italy. It's the same. I Promessi Sposi is a formation book of everybody is read or everybody know something. And when we understand the ambition of the series, for me it's a surprise, because it comes from a Mediterranean area, no? And we are for the very big TV series is for the North Europe, for North America, for English, something from the Spain in the last year. And this is a new real situation of the very high quality production in Europe, and come from Greece with a Italian collaboration, with a German, with a German. Well, with a German guarantee.
He's more Italian and Greek.
No, he's a Roman. He's not Italian. Ferdinand is a Roman, German, Greek producer.
Anybody else has a question? I think that you all shared something. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hello, congratulations for the material we saw. We all look forward to watch it. My question is about the language, because we heard English and Italian, right? Greek, yes, no. Greek and Italian.
So there is no English spoken in the series at all. It's, as far as Stelios knows, and it's not as Pier Giorgio said, an international. It's a Greek-Italian cast, and Italian characters are interpreted by Italian actors, and Greek characters are interpreted by Greek actors. So the language is Italian when they are in Italy, because of course Marina with her mother, they speak Italian, and everything in Italy they speak Italian. And when Marina comes to Greece, she slowly learns Greek. At the beginning she doesn't speak Greek, but then she learns it, and first she speaks a little bit French, because that was the common language at the time, so this is very historically correct. She speaks French with the brother, and then slowly she learns Greek, and the show is then 100% Greek.
So I guess it will be dubbed, if it's sold in Italy, in Italian, but for the international market, because language has always been, especially for the low capacity countries like Greece, has always been an obstacle. Is that something that you see being, with perfect dubbing, or with the openness of more?
So
I don't know.
Good question. That in most territories who will not dub the show will stay Italian Greek. But in dubbing countries, it can be dubbed entirely. Of course, in Italy, it will be entirely dubbed to Italian, because they don't have original language films on TV and in the cinemas. In Germany, it will be dubbed, but in Scandinavian and English-speaking countries, it will stay original. So the characters speak the Italians amongst them speak Italian, and like it was. Now it's a natural bilingual story. Like it was in the novel as well, because of course Marina, when she's in France, even if in the novel Karagatsis writes in Greek, but it's thought, of course, she was speaking French with her mother. So.
We have a lot of time for questions, so this is your opportunity to drill them away.
I think one of the things that I know it's people don't like to talk about it, but a little bit in terms of numbers, what kind of budget are we talking about here per episode and for the whole length of the series? Just a ballpark figure, if you don't want to give out details, understandably.
It's already in the newspaper, so don't worry. It's 1 million per episode.
Thank you so much. Congratulations. This is for the screenwriter. I would like to ask you a bit more about the adaptation process, because you obviously had a great piece of literature. And how did you handle, I mean, you always, when you adapt for TV or film, you always have to leave some things behind. And I would like to ask you to elaborate a bit on your process, and along with the producers, like how did you approach what to leave behind, what to keep in, if you added any of your own, let's say, I don't know, scenes or ideas. Thank you.
Okay. Again, it's a huge and very complicated process to adapt anything. When we are talking about a classical novel, then everything ends up being higher. The stakes are higher. You have to go with your instinct and with your storytelling, your narrator instinct. Again, because it's a different language, you have to stick to the plot, according to my opinion. I mean, the episodes must have a flow, a narrative flow. So you have to adjust the plot according to your main character, and then you build the rest. I don't think that I can elaborate more. I mean, it's a ton of things. It's a whole universe, and you have to extract from the universe what you think it's compatible with the narration form of a mini-series, which is, again, a very different kind of storytelling, very different from a feature or for a long form. I mean, so yes, you're trying to be faithful to what the novelist wrote, and at the same time to bring it to modern life. I think this is what I can say.
First of all, thank you all. That was amazing. I have a little question without touching, hopefully, any sensitive strings. But because the director mentioned it as well, and this looks like a 6, basically hours, more or less, series, will it actually go in any sort of way as well to the big screen? Or it will be only, because it's only for the trailer, you can tell that will be amazing as well for the cinema. So I was curious, with collaboration, obviously, with ERT, and if there is any plan to.
You mean screenings on the big screen of the actual
Cinema.
series, not like the...
Yeah, no, the
feature
6,
film, the 6.
I don't know, in any combo of 3 and 3 or some sort of.
Yeah, we have plans. Okay, we'll try to make it through to some big festivals like Berlin, Series Mania. That for sure, if We will be there. It will, at least the first 2 episodes will be screened on the big screen.
Which completely destroys a film critic schedule at the Berlin Festival or the Venice Festival, to have something that you absolutely want to see, but it's 6 hours, and then you cannot see 3 movies. But yeah, we'll be looking forward to it. I think that is anybody having any other questions? Because I think we're gonna wrap up, right, Nikki? I think that the last question would be, and that would kind of define our whole conversation, is that would you do it again? The collaboration or something like that, because we said all these perfect words, but if you're gonna say no, I'm not gonna do it
again. Yeah, till the end.
Are you all gonna work again? Is it a cooperation that is gonna repeat itself, like you like working together?
In this constellation, I think we have plans. You tell me more. I would do it again. Of course, I have to do it again because that's what we as Beta Film are doing. We are doing co-productions, and we want to bring Greek productions to international audience. That's what we started some years ago, and it was with Foss always on board, and of course we want to collaborate in this constellation and in other constellations too, because that's what we are doing. So I don't have any option to not continue, otherwise the company closes. Stelios, he can of course go back to make Greek movies and without international collaboration.
I think you can do both. You don't have to choose. But I think that in the beginning, when the whole economic crisis hit Greece and Europe, we probably thought that cooperations were a compromise. But I view it as a great opportunity to bring together different civilizations and different ideas and different cultures and do something wonderful, even if you have, like, the source being an emblematic Greek material. You can have different ways to approach it, and I found it as enrichment and not as a compromise. So as a humble citizen and viewer of our public TV, I want to applaud you for making such thing, and if you want to continue as well bringing us this kind of project. Perfect. You didn't say much, though. You left it kind of next year, so we're going to have a fixed appointment next year to discuss what is cooking right now. Okay. Anybody else wants to make a last comment?
I already said my personal. So.
Anybody else from the audience? We have somewhere in the back, sorry.
Hello, and thank you for this beautiful panel. Athina Xenidou from our agency at Ray. We represent 3 talents that were in the Great Chimera. And Natasha Saris did an amazing work in the costumes, and Dimitris Kitsos. And also, I want to congratulate the production and the director for for having an intimacy coordinator on set. There were a lot of intimacy scenes, and that's hugely important. In the industry. So if the director can expand.
I can say that it's the first ever Greek series that has intimacy coordinator. And we really wanted to have on board because the intimacy scenes were a lot. And one thing I'm curious is that when Maria
I tried
saw
to mention
the first 2 episodes, she didn't tell a thing. I was wondering, okay, let's cut here, 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 and here. We are the public broadcaster. And she told me that it's great, it's amazing. We'll air it at 11 o'clock, so everything is okay.
The answer in 2025, which should be the answer, yeah, but it's not something that you take for granted. Was it, hi Athena, was it your year, the Greek, I think that we have one intimacy director.
We represent Elma Kalpine, who did Poor Things.
Who did Poor Things, okay.
And she was the principal intimacy coordinator, and she had Katrina, her mentee, on her set. So I think that's one of a big victory, and you made it happen. And we are always advocating for that for all productions. Any intimacy scene should be coordinated, just like a tango scene is coordinated, choreographed by an expert. I think, well done. I'm very happy that we broke the barrier for this.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else? Okay, thank you so much for being here for this discussion. I wish the greatest of luck to the project, and we are looking forward to enjoying it in a couple of weeks. Okay, thank you.